Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to William Tennent High School. It's the site of a Philadelphia Catholic League matchup between LaSalle College High School and the reigning 4A state champion Bonner-Prendergast Friars. A huge game in the Philadelphia Catholic League last night. St. Joe's Prep beats Roman Catholic in double overtime. Sets the stage for this one. Bonner-Prendergast now the only remaining unbeaten team in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and LaSalle looking to further stake their claim towards a Philadelphia Catholic League title. Next here on Bob Long Sports. And hi, everybody. Welcome high above here at William Tennent High School. Bob Long, Jack McGuire, and Jack Burns with us. Matt Burkhead will be with us shortly. Let's now talk about this contest here. We talked about it right at the beginning. Bonner-Prendergast unbeaten in Philadelphia Catholic League play. Reigning 4A state champion, Jack McGuire. What's so challenging about this Bonner-Prendergast team?
This Bonner-Prendergast team, like you said, the only unbeaten team. They have a very good defense that will challenge a very good LaSalle offense. I'm so excited for what we have in store today.
Yeah, and they have a very talented quarterback as well, Fat Campbell. His first name is Noel. He goes by Fat. That's what we're going to call him here today. Head coach Jack Muldoon told us to do that, and head coach Jack Muldoon has done a terrific job turning this program around. He came in years ago and really only had 25 guys with the program. Got it up to about 125 last year, including that state championship. And so block by block, brick by brick, they've put themselves in position to be successful here. Jack McGuire, now to you as we, beg your pardon, Jack Burns, back to you. We're going to send it to you, Ray, to talk about this LaSalle football team. What about this club coming off a huge win against St. Joe's Prep?
I think coming off that huge win, I think there's a confidence, and this team is really, they're setting the big motion. They got big motion. The players want to win, and it's tough against, you got the intimidation of a team that hasn't lost. And that really makes you a little uneasy, but you got to realize that you need to win, and that's what they're going to plan to do. Gavin Sidwar set the all-time record for touchdown passes at LaSalle. He had the yardage record prior, set that touchdown record and yardage record in the last couple of weeks. He's so solid, talented, and throwing to some talented guys as well, Jack McGuire.
Yeah, and Gavin said we're breaking those records that were previously set by his coach. There's no one happier than Coach Brett Gordon for him, just to get that out of the way. The weapons that LaSalle has at the wideout positions and the tight end position, like Joey O'Brien, J.P. Oates, Jimmy Mahoney, Owen Johnson, those guys are really good, and we should see some deep balls here today.
It's a little bit of a rainy day, overcast, hoping to keep that rain away, but we shall see. Will that affect any of the rushing attack? Will that begin more of a rushing need, or will LaSalle and Fat Campbell from Bonner-Prendergast be able to take to the air? We'll find out in just a few short minutes. You're watching LaSalle football on Bob Long Sports. Stay with us. Kickoff in just a few.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. Franchise is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay-May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay-May go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events, the must-see matches, the game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles, like the all-new 2025 QX80. Like any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January. And that's the always terrific LaSalle Pep Band with their rendition of the national anthem, directed by senior Liam McCaffrey. Bob Long, Jack McGuire, and Jack Burns with us here. LaSalle versus Bonner-Prendergast, and I know Jack McGuire, you had a couple pre-game notes for us.
Yeah, Bob, I am so excited for this matchup here tonight. I'm going to give some history for pregame. Both teams have a very impressive history. According to Ted Sillery and other sources, Bonner has won 3 PCL championships, 2 city championships, and 1 state championship. And as I've mentioned before, LaSalle has won 15 PCL championships, 8 city championships, and 1 state championship. This year, the Friars, led by Jack Muldoon, have gotten off to a great start, starting the season 5-1. In 3 of their first 6 games, they have shut out Simon Gratz, Archbishop Ryan, and Father Judge. They also held Archbishop Wood to 7 points and Cardinal O'Hara to 10 points. Their only loss of the year came to the Haverford School in a 28-24 thriller. The Explorers, led by Brett Gordon, started the season off with 4 impressive non-league wins, fell short in their 5th game against Roman Catholic, and bounced back dominantly against their biggest rival, St. Joseph's Prep. I will have some offensive stats after the kickoff.
Well, it'll be Bonner-Prendergast to start on offense. And LaSalle will kick this one deep. One hop into the end zone. And let's hear some of those stats, Jack.
Yeah, here are some offensive stats from this year coming into this game from each team to compare. For Bonner, senior running back Salim Frank has rushed for 536 yards on 91 carries. Junior quarterback Pat Campbell Jr. has passed for 125 yards on 68 completed passes and rushed for 42 yards on 11 attempts. Junior wide receiver Ty Morris has 30 receptions for 407 receiving yards. For LaSalle, junior running back Ozzier Nelson has rushed for 336 yards on 77 carries. Senior quarterback Gavin Sidwar has passed for 1,594 yards and 18 touchdowns. And senior wide receiver Joey O'Brien has 41 receptions, 639 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Let's get this one underway. Salim Frank will be the lead tailback for Bonner-Prendergast today. He got the handoff that time from Fat Campbell. Frank is headed to Stone Hill next year, a hard runner, a hard worker. Backed up Mick Johnson last year. Mick Johnson was first-team offense and first-team defense in the Philadelphia Catholic League. And even with that, Frank last year, Jack, 800-plus rushing yards. So they'll lean on that again this year. T.Y. Marsh, you mentioned him in the open. Musa Bradford, Dylan Abram, and Tarif Nixon, the 4 wideouts for Bonner-Prendergast. Now look at this formation. That's Campbell going out wide, and they'll run it up the middle. First hands on it was Nick Neary. Also in there on the tackle was Zyke Scott. A gain of just 1 on 2nd and 5. It'll be 3rd and 4. So they've run it twice. What will they look to do on 3rd down and 4 yards to go? Only need to get the nose of that football to the 30 for a first down. And already a timeout here for Bonner-Prendergast.
And Bob, every time you say move the sticks today, I'm going to look at how colorful those sticks are. They got orange with black stripes.
And is that just, now I'm not so sure, is that different than normal?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Okay, all right.
What are they usually, Jack?
I think they're usually just orange.
Well, maybe those sticks were designed by Burns Design Group, one of our new sponsors here. Passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies, creating and refreshing brands from the ground up and inside out, transforming culture, driving growth, profitability, and market leadership. They're a group of hands-on industry veterans with more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group, what's next by design? So it is a big early 3rd down, and Campbell flips that one wide, incomplete. That was intended for T.Y. Morris. Had a beat on it. I like the matchup there as he just runs the out. They cleared out that area and put that in a spot where that's a challenging cover out there.
Yeah, and Bob, like you mentioned earlier, there is some forecast for today, so you wonder if the drizzling got to his gloves there.
So Bonner will punt this one away. Owen Johnson awaits the punt, but he'll get everyone away. Takes a great Bonner-Prendergast top to the 36-yard line. And that's where LaSalle will start offensively. And let's meet the starters from LaSalle. Going across the offensive line, number 13 ranked player in the country per on 3, Grayson McHugh, 6'8", 292, left tackle. Chris Berneski at left guard. Jacob Jackson slid inside from right tackle at the beginning of the year. He's been at center. Andrew Sorge and Danny Lawyer patrol the right side of the line. Joey O'Brien, Owen Johnson, Jimmy Mahoney, 3 of the starting wideouts. We will see Trey Hopkins, and he does get the opening snap here today. J.P. Oates is the senior tight end. No running back on the field, but the primary tailback has been Azir Nelson. Joey O'Brien, on initial screen pass, gets 3 yards before being taken down. And look at Grayson McHugh, number 78, after that initial block. Kind of gets into the play. Owen Johnson really more so, delivering that block on the edge. Good job by the sophomore wideout. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Line to gain is the 45. O'Brien now slides into the slot. And a quick one to the outside. Spinning for the first down is Owen Johnson. Caught it 2 yards short of the line, but Jack Burns a heck of a job to understand time and space there.
It was a great job by him trying to break that tackle from Bonner. He was driving his feet, and you could see he really wanted to get motion, but good job by the defense bringing him down.
And like we've saw a few times before this season, Trey Hopkins was in there on offense on that last play.
Yeah, he got first 2 plays he's been on the field. Now they'll change the personnel. 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back. That running back is Azir Nelson, who gets the first snap at the running back position for the contest here today. 1 safety high, that's Dylan Abram for Bonner. They'll run it to Azir Nelson. And he's tripped up. Going to be close. They're going to give him the full 10 yards and a first down. It was almost that safety Abram that we mentioned that had to make that tackle. Just one shoestring, the difference between Ozzie Nelson possibly getting to the end zone.
I was just going to say there was a lot of green in front of him there. It's good to see them come out on the first running play, so explosive.
They are changing the play at the line. You could hear it from up here. Brett Gordon saying, hold on, Gavin, and they changed the play. Blitz comes, and well diagnosed there from LaSalle. Joey O'Brien, he's got to make one miss. Inside the 10 to the 6. And a late whistle. They might have given him another yard or two. Good play there by LaSalle. They saw the all-out blitz coming. The audible we heard and mentioned, that's the difference there from LaSalle. Good play call. For Bonner-Prendergast up front, Elijah Daniels and C.J. Amobi at the edge spots. Terrence Jones, T.J., 6'3", 330 pounds, and Nafis Bostic at the two interior positions. Cole Romano, Cole Laughlin, and Amir Williams will patrol in the linebacking core. Musa Bradford, Dylan Abram, Josiah Adams, and Dante Wright in the secondary. Ozzie Nelson spins inside the 2. Gain of 2, maybe 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal. And that time LaSalle brought in the not often used Ryan Fandozzi, at least not on the offensive side of the ball, to play fullback. Starting defensive end for LaSalle, and he's in there again. LaSalle again surveys at the line. And now we'll snap it. Going right back to Ozzie Nelson. Pirouettes his way in for the touchdown. He took a big hit at the goal line and just went head over heels into the end zone.
This is his 8th touchdown of the year, Bob.
That's physical at the point of contact.
Jack, I'm surprised you haven't said anything yet. That's your favorite player.
I know, right? I love to see the run game going on in this game so far. Great to see the touchdown.
So good all year long. Chris Heck with the point after. 7-0. LaSalle leads. This portion of today's game brought to you by the Riley, Rakowski, and Malloy Funeral Home, a proud sponsor of LaSalle Athletics, of Bob Long Sports, and of his classmate, Brett Gordon, from the class of 1998. Riley, Rakowski, and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter, and we appreciate their partnership over all these years. Also want to tell you about the Great American Pub with 3 locations in Phoenixville, Wayne, and our personal favorite, Conshohocken. Head over with the family and friends and watch the big game before, during, or after the big games. A great time to go with great food specials, so many options, and just a family fun atmosphere. Thanks to Chuck Hempshire and his family for their support. Returnable from the 11-yard line. The man that goes by T.Y. Morris out to the 27-yard line.
And it's not Ty?
It is T.Y.
Okay.
Like T.Y. Hilton. You remember that receiver from the Indianapolis Colts?
I
no?
thought it was
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
How long ago was that, Bob?
David Navo helping us out on camera today, by the way. He is awesome. David, we're old. These are high schoolers that don't know T.Y. Hilton. Holy smokes. Now, he was a heck of a receiver, guys. That's an insult to me and David. Wow, we're getting old, buddy. Nice stop by LaSalle. So T.Y. Hilton, who did he play with? Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. He also played basketball at VCU back in the day. Andrew Luck was his quarterback.
Okay, I
know that.
know Andrew.
All right, there we go. We're back. We are so back, baby. 2nd and 9. So the LaSalle defense up front, they'll go with odd men fronts at times, and That's the way they've started the contest. Kyrie Mitchell and Ryan Fandozzi on the edges. At the nose spot, Jamel Williams. Nick Neary, Cooper Halig. The return of Colton McAleer was big last week. Zyke Scott in there as well. Fat Campbell flips it out wide. It was nearly intercepted. Off the hands of the intended target. And it almost ended up in the hands of number 3, Trey Hopkins, who headlines that secondary. He'll play at the cornerback position. Lucas Johnson at the opposing corner. Joey O'Brien and Jimmy Mahoney in the secondary. I think we mentioned Nick Neary. Also, Keenan Stahl will get significant snaps in the linebacking core today. Josh Simmons is out there. He's been dinged up over the course of the year, so he'll play in the secondary, kind of that star type of role. Campbell on 3rd and 9. They throw the screen. Jamel Williams gets there to the play. A big hit leveled from the linebacking core as well, and LaSalle will get off the field again defensively.
This linebacker core from LaSalle is so talented. Players like Nick Neary, Zyke Scott, Coleman McAleer. And Coleman McAleer missed the first couple games of the season and had a great impact right away in St. Joseph's prep game with that interception. He pulled it right out of the prep receiver's hands.
Cole Romano, who plays in the linebacking core, he'll also punt for Bonner-Prendergast. It's a high spinning kick, and it is muffed by Owen Johnson. Bonner's all over it. They think they have it. And it's Bonner-Prendergast football. So an early mistake for LaSalle.
Last time we saw Owen Johnson botch the kick at Calvert Hall, LaSalle's defense made up for it on the very next play, maybe 2 after, but it was very quick. They forced a fumble, got another turnover. So, Owen Johnson, don't hang your head.
It is a windy day. You might have been able to hear it even in our, I can hear it in my ear. Folks might have been able to hear it on the broadcast as well. Whistles everywhere. False start against Bonner-Prendergast.
False start on Senior Bonner. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. First down marker at the 26.
Pat Burkhead's in the building. I see him walking over to us now.
Handoff to Salim Frink. Frink gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and about 10, maybe 11, as they mark him 1 yard short of the initial line.
Frank has done a good job of running through this LaSalle defense, especially because they're applying such pressure and force to this Bonner-Prendergast offense.
Still haven't really seen Fat Campbell open it up here, but he's already broken the season yards and touchdown record for Bonner-Prendergast. That was last year in the full season. He's on his way to breaking the career yardage record at Bonner-Prendergast. A leader and a very hard worker, a diminutive young man at 5'6", but not to be taken lightly. But he goes down that time. Ryan Fandozzi comes off the edge and backs up the Friars.
Back for a loss by Ryan Fandozzi.
Fandozzi, nice move there, and the offensive lineman, Caleb Tezema, just was a little confused there. I think he thought that was someone else's assignment. Third down. Again, need to get all the way to the 26-yard line. 3rd and 21 as the sun starts to shine here at William Tennant High School. They're going to throw the screen. Zyke Scott misses the first tackle, and then cleaning it up, Cooper Halig. 4th down, decision time for Bonner-Prendergast. Do you play a field position game here? Still well behind the sticks. And on 4th 4th and about 15 yards. They will punt this one away.
4th down. Paul Romano in the punt for the Friars. Deep for the Explorers, Owen Johnson.
High snap, and he does get it off Romano. Good looking kick. And fielded at the 9. That one could have been even better if he let that one continue to run along. But I want to welcome the 4th member of our broadcast team, Pat Burkhead. You are with us here on the air. Tell us a little bit about your day.
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to go down to the city, and through Mr. Johnson, I'm doing a program with KYW. So I'm definitely going to try to learn some stuff there and bring it here to the Bob Long broadcast.
That's fantastic. You're a busy man. All media all the time. Pistol look here for LaSalle. Their second offensive drive. Firing to the outside, and that was low for Jimmy Mahoney. Romano bore down on him defensively and forced Sidwar to throw that off his back foot. Des Ortiz just checked into the game, by the way, his first offensive snaps of the contest. It's been great to see Ortiz come back into the mix. He's been a captain, is a captain for this team, was dinged up earlier in the year, and provides a really strong option out of the passing attack.
They called that incomplete, Bob.
Yes, they did. It bounced. Absolutely. Yep, 2nd down and 10. It was induced, I thought, Jack, by that pressure in the backfield by Cole Romano that forced Sidwar to throw off his back foot.
Yeah, Brett Gordon and Jimmy Mahoney thought otherwise.
I thought it was pretty clear, but maybe they saw it better than I did. Ripping him down. Nice job tackling out there by Bonner-Prendergast. T.J. Jones, 6'3", 330-pound. No surprise, he's the leader in tackles. He's actually cut some weight and added a lot of muscle. And that's a young man that, as he continues to work, just a junior, has a lot of football ahead of him.
And Desmond Ortiz, who was shook up a little bit at the beginning of the season, now looks like he's battling a little bit of an injury as Alzir Nelson comes to replace him.
Yeah, he limps off the field. We'll keep an eye on that as he goes to see LaSalle's wonderful trainer, Dave Crow. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 6, and it's going to be a penalty here. Offside against Bonner-Prendergast. And Gavin Sidwar got him with the hard count again. That has been a consistent part of the story for LaSalle all season long.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about Gavin's clap every week. He's really good at drawing the defense off sides.
And it was Musa Bradford who did jump offside, and that's something there. You kind of get back to game action, right? It's actually his first game back. It's great to see him back. He's a terrifically talented junior. But one of those things that comes with live reps. Bradford, though, gets right up in the face of Jimmy Mahoney again. Press coverage. 1st down and 10. Ten personnel here for LaSalle. Crossing pattern, and Owen Johnson dropped the football. In there on coverage was Dylan Abram, the 6'1 safety, the Temple football commit.
And Bob, on this replay, look at Jimmy Mahoney. He was wide open.
This is such good defense by Bonner-Prendergast. I want to look at this again. Again, they're in zone coverage. It's the right play call. You see the crossing route. They're expecting, or LaSalle is hoping, that those two defensive backs take themselves out of the play by following the man, but they trade off well. Good communication there from Bonner-Prendergast, and then just an athletic play on the ball by Dylan Abram. Nelson to the second level, tripped up at the 26-yard line after a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd down and manageable. Good vision that time by the junior tailback for LaSalle. Really seeing his first true action. Hurt all of last year. Was just a freshman. Got some snaps when he was a freshman, but not a ton. And so it's been his coming out party this year. Will they go back to the tailback Nelson here, or will they go to the air? 11 personnel, 1 running back and 1 tight end on the 3rd and 4. Out wide for Owen Johnson's going to have to make a move and does not. How about the cornerback, Dante Wright? 6 foot, 150 pounds, but the young man comes in and is physical on that tackle. And so Bonner-Prendergast, it is a highly vaunted defense. They get off the field. Remember, this is, we talked about it in the open, the only undefeated team in league play in the Philadelphia Catholic League after Roman Catholics lost last night. A driving kick, good on a windy day, keeps it away from T.Y. Morris and gets a good hop in the process down to the 32. That also ends the first quarter, and we'll take the break with them here on Bob Long Sports.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts. Cole Romano goes with the Wildcat to start the second quarter. 7-0 LaSalle leads. Went down on their first offensive drive and scored. But Bonner-Prendergast came up with a big defensive stop last time out. Jack Burns, what did you see in the first quarter there?
I saw some great defense on both ends of the ball. I think both these teams are applying great pressure, especially LaSalle with their sack on Fryer's quarterback.
And by the way, I do need to make a little mea culpa here. So Romano, when I've been saying Romano, that's actually Danny Buckton, number 15. We'll have more on him in just a moment, wearing number 15. Not number 16. That ball is caught. It'll bring up 3rd down. That would have been impressive. Romano going all 3 ways. But Danny Buckton played the first 2 years here at Bonner-Prendergast, played football, but he's a very, very talented baseball player. His future is in baseball, and so we decided to skip football junior year to focus on baseball. Well, what happened last year? Bonner-Prendergast went and won a state title last year, and he missed it. Wanted to come back, and he scored 3 or 4 touchdowns this year. He'll play halfback and quarterback, as we've seen a couple of times. He'll be a college baseball pitcher at the next level. So when we see number 15, that's Danny Buckton. They're going to Buckton. He just dropped the football. It's a good play call there to try to get it to Buckton. Why is he wearing 15, by the way? David Navo, our camera guy, and also my resident, old guy here on the broadcast. They're going to know this. Any quarterbacks from Florida wearing number 15 that you might remember? Lefty, named Tim Tebow? There you go. All right, we're good there. So that's why Danny Buckton is wearing number 15.
I got the pleasure to go to the Bonner baseball game, 2 of them against LaSalle and Ryan in the PCL playoffs, and I got to watch Danny Buckton.
This is definitely Cole Romano, who gets off a great punt. This time it is cleanly fielded by Owen Johnson. He's got blockers. He needs 1 block, and he's got it. Now he turns it on. 1 to beat. Owen Johnson. Touchdown. How about that? He mishandles the punt on the prior punt from Bonner-Prendergast, leads to the Frikers getting the football, What does he do this time? Field it cleanly, that's first. And then use his abilities and great blocking from his special teams unit to take it all the way.
Chris Hack in to attempt the extra point.
$14-0 LaSalle.
Chris Heck has been near perfect for LaSalle this year.
Yeah, Jack, all year I feel like we've seen special teams be so important, whether it's returns or kicks. LaSalle's been really efficient in that.
2 special teams plays back-to-back there.
This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance, an independent local insurance agency serving the area's business and personal insurance needs. Owned and operated by Chris Marr, class of 1989 at LaSalle and former alumni board president. E&M Insurance has been servicing the Delaware Valley's insurance needs since 1988, built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. They're an independent agent, meaning they work with a select group of highly rated insurance companies that have proven their performance over the years, helping to provide solutions for your business or personal insurance on all levels. Look for them online at eandminsurance.com. And offside will be the call in all likelihood. So they'll back this up 5 yards.
5-yard penalty. Number 94, Chris Hack.
When we talked to Jack Muldoon this week, he talked about how last year they felt like that game against LaSalle got away from Bonner too quickly, couple miscues, special teams, and all of a sudden it's 21-0 before they blinked. And certainly know how good LaSalle is, but wanted to avoid that type of start. They were on their way. I mean, LaSalle, yes, they went down and scored the first offensive touchdown, but they got the special teams miscue on LaSalle, got off the field another time. It's going to be a challenge against this LaSalle defense for Bonner, without a doubt. But that punt return is exactly what Jack was talking about. Jack Muldoon, that is, to try to avoid. It's going to be challenging to score enough points against this LaSalle team, and a special teams touchdown for LaSalle puts some distance. 10:02 to play here in the second quarter. And they will blow this one dead here as well. Another false start puts Bonner-Prendergast behind the sticks.
Penalty flag. False start. Bonner-Prendergast. 5-yard penalty. First and 15.
And when you get behind the sticks, always going to be a challenge, but you think about the special group of wide receivers that Bonner had last year. Jalil Hall, he's now at Purdue playing wide receiver. He was getting time this year before unfortunately getting hurt and ending his season. Jeremiah Coleman is a starter for IUP at the wide receiver position. Already has 5 touchdowns on the year. Nowhere to go. Ball came out, but ruled down, and appropriately so. Number 52, Caleb Davidson, the sophomore, in there on the stop.
Caleb Davidson's been having a monster year for LaSalle. Last year he played a little bit on the freshman team and a little bit on JV, and this year he's really stepped into a nice role on the varsity squad.
Pat, you got the chance to interview him after the St. Joseph's Prep game. How'd that go?
It was great. You know, Caleb's a really great guy. He's very exciting. He gets very excited about the wins, so he was a very fun guy to talk to.
Last 2 receivers, by the way, that left last year, Rob Ford, 11 catches for Kings, and Chris Jones at Stevenson getting time as a freshman. Here's Campbell on second down, unloads it, and that's going to be well overthrown. Aiden Christie blanketing on coverage. Dylan Abram asking for a flag. That's not going to come. That was just terrific coverage by Christie, an incredibly fast defensive back and a strong track athlete as well.
Yeah, we talked about Christie last week. He's just been glued to receivers the past 2 weeks, you know. I feel like there's just no separation whatsoever for whoever he's covering.
Correction, third down.
Line to gains out at the 34. It's third down. And let's call it 16 yards. Ten personnel here for Bonner-Prendergast, 4 wide. Salim Frank, so they are just content to get off the field here. Try to punt this one away. Not try to throw it into the shark-infested waters of that LaSalle secondary. They'll punt this one away, and who's back there but Owen Johnson, who's had quite the polarizing day on the special teams to this point. His second punt return of the year for a touchdown on that prior opportunity. Romano this time angles it well away from Owen Johnson, but that was caught on the track at the 40-yard line. That's probably down by the 30. And that official is walking past the 35. He's at the 32, and he stops at the 31. How's that for some radio play-by-play for you? Great starting field position for LaSalle. It's a 15-yard punt. Big opportunity here, Jack McGuire, I think, for the offense for LaSalle to really put a statement on this first half.
Yeah, like Bob, like you were saying, Bonner's coach told you that they can't let LaSalle take the game away from Bonner this early, and early into the second quarter, LaSalle's already making statements.
Ozzie Nelson almost broke out of that tackle. He ended up gaining 5 yards nonetheless. LaSalle tried to set up the screen.
Gavin Sidwar's pass complete to Ozzie Nelson.
And put that linebacker in a really tough spot. He made a good play on the ball.
Tackle on the play by Cole.
Nelson does a great job of keeping his feet moving and trying to get out of tackles.
First time calling Cole Laughlin's name here this afternoon. He made the play. Second down and a long 4. Line to gain is the 21. Bunched set here at the line. Johnson is in motion, and that's a flip pass. He'll take 2, maybe 3 yards and set up third down and about 2. And again, just a programming note for our buddy Hawk Palmer doing the stats at home. I know he knows this, but a pop pass like that does count as a passing attempt for Gavin Sidwar and a catch for Owen Johnson rather than a rushing attempt.
I've been very impressed with the Explorers' offense this year in this red zone, inside the 30 type of zone. I feel like they're just really creative, and like you never know what's going to come at the defense.
Well, and you think about creativity, 2 downs to get it here, Pat, right? So you can call something to run up the middle, or you can take a shot here knowing you have it again on 4th down. They'll run it to Ozzie Nelson. Bounces outside, has the first down. Good block there by Owen Johnson. He's inside the 5. And I can tell you already, that's going to be today's block of the game. Owen Johnson just delivered the hit, laid the boom. It's unfortunate that there's a holding on the play elsewhere, but what a block by Owen Johnson. Let's again learn about our block of the game. Thanks to Blocks, where you can turn your PA tax liability into need-based scholarships to support your local Catholic school and receive a 90% tax credit refund. Visit blocks.com/tax credit for more. That was awesome, guys.
That was a great block.
And it was clean. It wasn't blindside. It was just taking a defender out of the play. Double move. Owen Johnson steps out of bounds. The official has him out of bounds at the 5. And let's see here. This official had a much better view than I did. Oh, and there's a cameraman right there doing a terrific job, no doubt, but standing right in the way.
Another flag, though.
So we're going to take the official's word on that. Great crew here today, and like you said, Jack, a flag brings it back.
And Bob, real quick to emphasize on the crew down there with the cameras, both LaSalle and Bonner have very good student photography programs. As you see on the sidelines and behind the goalposts, LaSalle and Bonner both have a lot of cameras.
TBD on this one. LaSalle is moving up. Bonner-Prendergast was holding the line there for a moment, but now they're backing up as well. So perhaps this penalty is against Bonner-Prendergast, and LaSalle will decline it. But we'll wait for the signal from the white-hatted official. Interesting. I don't understand what that was. That's a penalty against Bonner-Prendergast. It must have been a pre-snap penalty or something where you can't accept.
Personal foul on the Explorers.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Thanks, Chris Carabello. So play is good, and then a dead ball personal foul against LaSalle to back it up 15 yards. And Ozzie Nelson will get to the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle. Back him up 15. Ozzie Nelson will get that back, plus the 6 needed to get to the end zone.
Bob, you talked about earlier how they could just run it up the middle for a 1-yard first down, but when you have a guy like Ozzie Nelson, he can just break those inside runs for much longer runs like what we saw there. And there you go with a score.
And you saw him give that X signal in the end zone. I know one of you guys can tell me about that.
I mean, his nickname is X. I don't know the reasoning behind it.
That's all I was going for. Yes. It's not a Bronx call, but it is X for Ozzie Nelson. And my understanding on that one, by the way, Jack, is that he just has been called it since he started playing football as a young boy, and he doesn't really remember it either. I don't want to speak for him, but I believe that's the case. Is like he has a hard time remembering exactly how or why. Let's dog-ear that page, though. TBD. Come let us know if that's not the case, Ozzie or your family, and we'll make sure to make that right on the broadcast next week.
Bob, right now, Ozzie Nelson is going for player of the game, so if you have a chance to speak with him after the game, maybe you can ask him about why his nickname is X.
He's definitely an X factor out there.
Bingo. That's right.
It's a pretty cool nickname.
Appreciate everybody watching along here with us on Bob Long Sports. Do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We see the numbers, and they've been great. Getting about 80% non-subscribers. So if that's you, please give us a shout, give us a follow. And Jimmy Mahoney, what a play again on the backside of that play on special teams. He plays in all 3 facets.
And he's good at all 3 of them, Bob.
He just flew down the field there. Bonner never even had a chance.
So first down and 10 for Bonner-Prendergast, down 21-0 against LaSalle. Look at this set. Wildcat popped there. Pads are popping all over the place. Cooper Halligan on the stop.
Saline Frankel, the Wildcat, brought down on the play by Ryan Fandozzi.
Boy, they gave Fandozzi the tackle, and he certainly ended up in there. But Halig delivered the boom on that play.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Halig this year. You know, the linebacker core as a whole has been impressive with Zyke Scott, Nick Neary, and Halig.
Add Colton McAleer to the mix as well.
Definitely.
Up the middle, again, nothing doing. Jamel Williams got first contact. Fandozzi in there again to help with the tackle.
Amare DiMarcano on the carry, brought down by Jamel Williams.
Starting to see some of the reserve running backs. That was Amari DiMercado. Mekhi Martin, number 24, will also get snaps. And it'll be mostly Frank, we expect, throughout the most of the day, so long as he's healthy and feeling good. But those guys, Martin DiMercado, we're told basically, hey, we're riding who's hot on that particular day. And it is Martin out there now. This is number 24, Mekhi Martin, along with Fat Campbell at the quarterback position. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Pressure. They throw the screen, and it's deflected. That was a fastball there. Nao Jones, the intended wideout. And on comes the punting unit again. A good look at this defensive rush from a good punt off. Owen Johnson slides to make that catch at the 45-yard line. And the offense will come back onto the field. Quick chance to tell you about our friends at Bala Dermatology, offering comprehensive medical and cosmetic skin care, providing early detection and treatment of skin cancer, treatment of all skin conditions, and many cosmetic options to reduce sun damage and help you love your skin. Visit them online at baladermatology.com or call Dr. Mary Griffin at 610-664-3300. Healthy skin starts here. Joey O'Brien was thinking about the move he was going to make after he caught it.
Gavin Sidwar's pass incomplete, intended for Joey O'Brien.
Jack Burns, I feel like LaSalle, for a lot, they've done well offensively. The one thing that we're looking for is, hey, are they going to really take the top off this defense?
Right. This LaSalle offense has been great so far this game. I mean, they've been great run games today with Azir Nelson's 2 touchdowns.
And there's Des Ortiz, more of the same. On 2nd and 10, he takes it 14 yards for a first down.
And we saw him limping off the field in the first quarter. Good to see him back now in the second quarter making such an explosive run.
And a nice little hole there from the left side of the offensive line.
Chris Berneski starts at the offensive line position. Grayson McHugh. Now they'll take the shot deep. Overthrows J.P. Oates. It does look like out there, by the way, Nick Stampone, Jr., offensive lineman, if I'm seeing that correctly. Is that 62 out there? It is. So he's getting some run at the left tackle. Good for Nick Stampone. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. There was that shot, Pat, that we were just talking about. Is okay, they've handled the underneath. The running game has been great. But you got a guy like Dylan Abram in the backside. You got to be careful, of course. But I'm sure LaSalle will continue to try to push the field.
Yeah, Stampone came in for Chris Berneski.
Ortiz up the middle, and there is T.J. Jones. Big boy. Fleet of foot as well. Sheds that block and gobbles up Des Ortiz. Third down, 4 down territory. Line to gain is the 21.
I could see another shot here, Bob. You know, they tried it to J.P. Oates. Maybe they go to someone else. Maybe they go to J.P. Oates again.
4 wide. Sidwar steps up and delivers. Ortiz taken down at the 23-yard line. Now an easy decision to go for it on 4th down. And a nice job by Gavin Sidwar to move in the pocket as it started to break down, but keep his eyes up the field. Missouri very excited to have Gavin Sidwar next year, and it's plays like that that make the difference at the next level. Quarterback, Brett Gordon has said this is an uncomfortable position. How you manage those situations, feet are never set, always looking off defenders, looking to your next option, depends on and defines how good you're going to be at the position. Now a big fourth down early. Mahoney with the catch, and he darts downfield. He has the first down, keeps the play moving, and keeps the drive onward.
Dante right on the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 15.
High level of trust from Brett Gordon to go 4 wide on a fourth down play, 2 yards to go.
And I thought that was a great demonstration of Gavin Sidwar's connection with his receivers. I feel like he let go of that ball before Mahoney even turned his head.
Ortiz tries to break through one, but Cole Romano did a great job getting into the backfield and really not giving Ortiz much to work with. Got through that A gap there. Jacob Jackson was blocking somebody else, and it was Cole Romano knifing through.
Jacob Jackson's a very talented center for the Explorers.
Joey O'Brien on the slant, and Joey O'Brien will score. Sidwar to O'Brien, a familiar connection.
11 touchdowns this year for the two of them.
Touchdown pass. That's Joey O'Brien.
And it has been a complete game for LaSalle here this afternoon. The defense has been spectacular. Bonner-Prendergast really hasn't moved the ball much at all. Just the one special teams miscue made up for with a special teams touchdown on the very next punt. And now 3 offensive touchdowns. Make it 28-0 with 3 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Now 28. Bonner-Prendergast no score.
This is starting to remind me of the Calvert Hall game we saw in the Explorers non-league schedule.
Yeah, in that game, the defense really shut down Calvert Hall, and the offense definitely took advantage.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle Athletics. Andrew Buddha Rakowski sends his best to Coach Brett Gordon, his classmate, the student athletes at LaSalle, and the LaSalle football program as a whole. Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, a proud sponsor. Chris Heck bangs this one deep. It's a live football, but it'll let bounce into the end zone.
Chris Heck's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. Bonner-Prendergast will start.
We talked a lot last night on our broadcast, and if you haven't seen it, please check out the replay. Roman Catholic against St. Joe's Prep, an absolute classic. We talked a lot about a potential 3-way tiebreak at the end of this thing. Bonner-Prendergast, as we mentioned, for a school undefeated to this point, if LaSalle is able to hold on to this victory here today, would set up a momentary 4-way tie with just one loss in the Catholic League, and a lot still to be adjudicated. Bonner-Prendergast has St. Joe's Prep and Roman Catholic on the schedule to finish out the regular season.
Those are 2 teams you don't want to see to finish out your schedule.
Campbell drops it underneath. Nice job by Martin to adjust in midair on a ball that was behind him. And it'll be a first down, 10-yard gain on 1st and 10.
And Bob, that's actually 3 teams you don't want to see, with LaSalle being their opponent right now. LaSalle, Roman Catholic, and St. Joe's Prep to finish out your PCL schedule.
Tackle on the play by Cooper Hellick.
Going right back to Martin. This is that hot hand conversation that they talk about over at Bonner. And Mekhi Martin gains 4 yards on first down, sets up 2nd and 6. I do wonder, though, and it's hard to see over there, but I have not seen Salim Frink in a while. I don't know if you guys can corroborate that or not, so I wonder if he's dinged up. Keep an eye out for him. Hope that he gets back on the field if there is an issue. Fat Campbell can do this. First down, ball's out, and LaSalle has it. It's yet another turnover. Punched out by the LaSalle defense. One more look. Cooper Haley gets in there with the left hand.
And it looks like it was recovered by Josh Simmons.
Yeah, Jack, great reaction time there. If I were him, I wouldn't have expected the ball to come my way in that situation.
Well, and that's a guy who plays offense too, doesn't he, Jack? So he's got those ball skills.
Yeah, and like Patrick said, I would not expect anyone to expect that ball coming all the way back there.
And that's why your coaches say to never give up on the play.
LaSalle can make this with a touchdown and an extra point, a 35-point game.
Bob, you always talk about the middle eight. LaSalle will get the ball at the beginning of the second half, too, as they deferred the coin toss.
So that's one of those, if our referee was mic'd up. False start, everybody but the center. The ball just never got snapped from Jackson. Now, I just need to put this pin in this from a rules standpoint. If LaSalle does go down and score prior to the end of the first half, a running clock could not occur until the beginning of the second half. But with a score and a stop, LaSalle could begin the second half with a running clock. It's the earliest it could happen. Crossing pattern, Owen Johnson, good hands. Dante Wright in there on coverage. An 11-yard gain on first down, beg your pardon.
Owen Johnson's been nothing but great this game ever since his little mishap at the beginning on the punt return.
And you love that, right? A young man's ability, just a sophomore, flush it, come back and do what you know you can do, which is be one of the most talented sophomores in the state of Pennsylvania, bar none. 5 wide for Gavin Sidwar. He'll step up over the middle. Mahoney makes one miss. And Mahoney tiptoes the sideline. And this time, a terrific block for Owen Johnson will not be called back due to a hold elsewhere on the play. This young man, the sophomore, I love his commitment to blocking down the field.
And another great play by Sidwar, really extending the play in that pocket, able to get the ball to Mahoney.
It almost looked like he was going to take off, too.
Always with those eyes open down the field, though, even as the play breaks down. Nelson to the edge. Nelson to the end zone.
And there's that X.
9 yards to the house for Ozzie Nelson.
3rd touchdown of the game, 10th of the season. Ozzie Nelson.
And great blocks by Fandozzi and McHugh on that left side.
Chris Heck bangs it through. And so now if LaSalle can massage this lead into the break, we will start the second half with a running clock.
Yeah, and here's a PCL scoreboard update. Yesterday, Cardinal O'Hara beat Father Judge 42-14 in Springfield, Pennsylvania. Lansdale Catholic beat Archbishop Wood 28-21 in overtime, and St. Joseph's Prep beat Roman Catholic in double overtime 40-39 in the thriller. Today, Archbishop Ryan plays Archbishop Carroll at Cardinal O'Hara High School, and West Catholic plays Newman Goretti at South Philly Super Site.
And our good old buddy and longtime coordinator at LaSalle, Joe Wade, now assisting at Archbishop Ryan. He's coaching right now in that game. The game started at 11. The old 11 o'clock in the morning Saturday start for you. So I don't know if there's a score maybe after the half we can find as to that Carroll versus Ryan game. Ryan with a win there, would be in a position to play for a Blue Division title over the next 2 weeks.
Lansdale Catholic is 4-0 in the Blue Division.
That's right. That would be the game, Ryan versus Lansdale Catholic. If it were to go that way, that would be a de facto title game.
And a big win for Lansdale Catholic over Archbishop Wood last night.
Yeah, like I said, in overtime, not as interesting as the double overtime game Bob covered with Tyler yesterday.
It's one of the better games we've ever done anywhere, truly.
You know what that reminded me of, Bob? The 4 overtime game with LaSalle and Prep last year.
I'll say. It had shades of it without any shadow of a doubt. So now 1 minute 9 seconds, and just from how time works, again, it's always going to take a lot to come back in a game like this, but just to give yourself enough time and enough possessions to get this out of a running clock situation, Bonner-Prendergast is going to need something here. T.Y. Morris, that's not going to help. A loss of 5, and the clock keeps running under a minute to play. And I would expect to see guys for LaSalle that just haven't had the opportunity to get on the field because of the strength of the schedule so far this year, just haven't had a lot of blowouts, as good as LaSalle is. And so I would expect to see new faces and new numbers out on the field in the second half for LaSalle.
And Bob, the one game that it was a blowout, you unfortunately missed, so you didn't get to see these new faces.
That's right.
And one of the most exciting parts of that game was Luke Gordon threw his first passing touchdown as a varsity player.
Campbell's pass was on the money but dropped on the far side of the field.
Jack, I believe some freshmen got in too, right?
Yeah, Jeray Dial was the one that stood out to all of us with his explosive run game. But there were a few other freshmen too.
Yeah, him and Bryce Hanton should be a nice duo in the backfield over the next few years for the Explorers.
And obviously, Ozzie Nelson has one more year left too, and so does Josh Simmons.
Quick out and tackled in the field of play. So 4th down, LaSalle could call timeout. I think they're doing the right thing here by not doing that. And they'll just take it to the half. A 35-0 lead for the LaSalle Explorers over Bonner-Prendergast. There certainly was no hangover from the big win against St. Joe's Prep last week. A massive credit to this group of young men. We'll take a break and we'll come back in just a few minutes. It is halftime here at William Tennant High School. Before we do, I want to send it to each of our guys and get their thoughts on the first half. Let's start with you, Pat.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the defense, and the offense can't score without the defense getting stops, and they didn't really allow many yards. I thought that really stemmed from the pressure they were getting up front.
I think Ozzie Nelson had a great first half, obviously with 3 touchdowns. I don't think we'll see much of him in the second half, Bob, like you said, with some new faces for LaSalle, with hopefully Bryce Hanton and Jeray Dial, like me and Pat were just saying.
Like you said, Jack, Ozzie Nelson's been nothing but electric today. The run game has been off the charts, and the defense has also been great on both ends.
Sounds like a complete performance to me. I think you guys nailed it. Great job with this first half. To my students here, our LaSalle College High School sophomores, Jack Burns, Jack McGuire, and Pat Burkhead. So thrilled to have you guys on the broadcast team all year long.
Thanks for having us, Bob.
Nothing to it. I wouldn't have it any other way. We'll take a quick break and come back. Second half is next here on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford. nearly 40 years. Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dumpy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay may go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January. Halftime, folks, from William Tennant High School as the rain actually begins to spit on us here. But we're hanging in, having a great time high above William Tennant High School. Actually a home game for LaSalle, if you can believe that. Always tough to find places to play, but Bob Zanio, the athletic director of LaSalle, does a great job finding places near and far for the school to and the young men to have a chance to showcase their talents. Let's bring you in our booth here. Bob Long, Pat Burkhead, Jack McGuire. Jack Burns will be with us in just a moment. So let's think about this here. We talked about our thoughts on the first half. Let's start to unspool the Philadelphia Catholic League as we see it. We talked a lot last night about potential tiebreakers. Bonner-Prendergast now gets in that mix. If they lose here today, they have the one loss. They have big games against St. Joe's Prep and Roman Catholic down the line. Let's just say that LaSalle, Roman Catholic, and St. Joe's Prep win out. You're in a position now where you have that three-way tiebreaker, and based upon what the athletic director has determined this past Monday in terms of having the number of points and the point differential in the games involving those three teams, LaSalle would actually win based upon their +8 margin. Roman Catholic is +2, won by 3, lost by 1 last night. St. Joe's Prep lost by 11, and then won by 1 last night, so they'd be -10. They'd finish 3rd in that situation. So LaSalle in position, if they win out and a few things go the way they need them to win the Philadelphia Catholic League title, which is a regular season title. Thoughts on that?
I think that LaSalle, knowing that, will win out. I think that they will be determined to win their second PCL championship in a row under Brett Gordon. I think that their main goal is to win states this year, but I think that a hubcap back to Winmore would be phenomenal for them.
Yeah, Jack, I totally agree. This 2026 class seems like they do nothing but win, so I would definitely not be shocked if they come home with another PCL title.
Absolutely. This team wants to win, and you can see it in every game. You can see how hard they play for these wins.
Bonner-Prendergast has just left the locker room, and it is definitely starting to rain out here. No question whatsoever. Got to take some measures here to protect some equipment, but we should not have any problems whatsoever bringing you the rest of the contest. Guys, while we have the open forum and Jack McGuire, make sure you come on in here so we can all see your nice bright face. What else should we talk about here in Philadelphia Catholic League and high school football as a whole? We want to commiserate about the Phillies. What you got for me?
Oh, can't talk about those.
I think that we should give more credit to the PCL Blue Division. I think that the teams in there are very competitive. Coming into this season, the PCL Red Division was ranked 4th in the country for high school divisions, and the PCL Blue Division isn't like 5,000 away. I think that they're pretty close to one of the top ones in the country. They're got a very good group of teams in that division, especially Lansdale Catholic this year, undefeated, and Archbishop Ryan, like you said.
It becomes really interesting, Jack, too, because there are 2 4A teams that are in the Blue Division, and there are 2 4A teams that are in the Red Division. The 2 in the Red Division are Cardinal O'Hara and this team, Bonner-Prendergast. And in the Blue Division, Archbishop Ryan and Archbishop Wood. There's no other league in the state where that's the case. No other league in the state where you have teams in the same classification that don't play each other and then just go play in the postseason in districts. And I think that's something that probably needs to be worked on. There are teams that have the option to bring to the district and bring to the Philadelphia Catholic League, question and potentially like a referendum on something like that. And to be determined whether a Bonner-Prendergast or a Cardinal O'Hara will do something like that. Archbishop Wood was up in the red for many, many years. Enrollment changes, they moved down. Bonner-Prendergast was the team that moved up in that situation. And so, yes, Blue Division very, very strong. It is a different level of football. And so the teams like O'Hara and Bonner can get beaten up over the course of the regular season in a way where Ryan and Wood do not. And that's just something will be an ongoing discussion as time goes along, I think.
Yeah, you know, LaSalle sees Cardinal O'Hara down the line. I'm excited for that game. And to Jack's point, I think they're all really talented teams. And I think it's impressive that the Catholic League can have 2 whole divisions of great football.
Jack, any final thoughts from you before we head back and then get started with the second half?
One thing about the PCL is its upcoming member next year, Holy Ghost Prep. Obviously no football team for them, but how do we think it'll affect the rest of the sports?
Baseball's really, really good at Holy Ghost Prep. I think that'll make baseball really fun in the springtime. And I'll be intrigued to see how they approach basketball. It's had a long-time coach, Coach Chapman, for many, many years there, and kind of restoring, rebuilding, or you know, putting a new lens on that program. A young coach that's come in and done a nice job. Do they start going after some of that same talent that is currently in the Catholic League? What does Archbishop Ryan and Father Judge think about that, specifically from a geography standpoint, kind of stepping on their turf a little bit? That's my thought.
Yeah, I'm excited to see both Ryan and Judge in basketball this year. They're both really talented teams, especially Father Judge. They're the reigning PCL champs, and I think they'll have a nice shot this year at the Palestra and maybe further.
Reigning PCL champs and state champs. And then also, I think...
But not district champs, funny enough. Imhotep got them in the district title game, and then Judge got TEP in the state semifinal.
Yeah, and then I think for PCO play, as we know it, Newman Goretti is going to be a powerhouse this year. And I think LaSalle is going to be up on the rise in Coach Ansel's 3rd season of coaching LaSalle.
We're looking forward to hoops. A lot of football, though. Before we get to that point, we'll take a quick break and come back with the second half on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue, generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we
Third quarter, about to get underway. A running clock ahead of us here in the second half. LaSalle leads Bonner-Prendergast 35-0. And Chima Auguste out to the 35 and beyond. Nice job by Chima Auguste. The transfer, first-year transfer from Springside Chestnut Hill.
And now we'll get to see Luke Gordon at quarterback. Coach Gordon's son, the sophomore, coming in for Gavin Sidwar. We see some of the starters, but it looks like Nick Neary's down on this play.
Well, that's what you're trying to avoid by putting all these reserves into the game. You hate to see that on the first play of the second half.
We saw Jeray Dial there on the special teams. Me and Pat were talking about him before the half.
And I think this second half is going to be a good way to show how deep LaSalle's roster is and the future talent that they have, the underclassmen that they have. You know, a lot of talent in the 2028 and 2029 classes.
Especially with so many stars leaving after this year.
Yeah, a lot of playing time will open up for those guys.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Burns Design Group. At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting bonds from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We transform culture, we create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out, driving growth, profitability, and market leadership. We're a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group, what's next? By design.
This is not a good sign for the Explorers.
We kept the camera away just to give Nick Neary the grace, but he is being helped off by Ryan Fandozzi and Cooper Halig in a lot of pain. Here's Josh Simmons as we're back to action. Angry run as he gets out to the 50-yard line, but one more note on Nick Neary. He'll be looked at the training table by Dave Crow, but just not a great look for him. Not being able to put much weight on that left leg at this time. So we'll let the professionals do their job and hope for the best for a really talented linebacker. 1st and 10 from the 50, handed off to Josh Simmons, and Simmons gains 5, maybe 6 on first down. As the wonderful pep band through the rain, through the mist says, hit me with your best shot.
Great music program there at every game. Always hyping up the players. And the music's great, very entertaining here in the booth.
You picked some great songs.
We did talk about it, but Luke Gordon is in that quarterback, sophomore, future of the program at this position. Drops a ball in the bucket. It was dropped by Joey O'Brien. That's a really nice ball by the sophomore Gordon.
Incomplete. Intended for Joey O'Brien. 3rd and 5.
And it's not easy to come in the game in the second half, not taking a snap in the first half, not to mention it's raining, and not to mention he's a sophomore with very little experience.
Yeah, Jack, I actually played against Luke Gordon in 8th grade. He's definitely a good quarterback.
What position were you, Pat?
I played some DB, some tight end, you know.
Gordon on 3rd down. They'll throw the screen. Well designed. O'Brien with a lot of patience there. Let the big boys get down the field, and he ends up inside the 30. Have to give a shout out to number 66, Andrew Swords, the big guy, leading the way for Joey O'Brien. Jacob Jackson, the center, got 10-plus yards down the field as well. It's a well-designed screenplay, and a member of the Bonner-Prendergast Friars goes down, so we'll, again, take a beat here. But you run that screen, you can get the guys down the line. If that ball is thrown past the line of scrimmage, or those big boys are past the line when that ball is caught, that's when you think about illegal lineman downfield. So if you're wondering why that wasn't called, it's excellent design and execution by LaSalle to allow those big boys to get down the field and block.
I love screenplays for this LaSalle team just because they have so many playmakers. It's a great way to get the ball, like, for sure in someone's hands and let them go make a play.
First down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Simmons again. TJ Jones racking up the tackles. He's the leading tackler for Bonner-Prendergast this year, and if I didn't know that information coming in, I would have guessed that was the case after seeing him play. Just shedding blocks all over the place. It's a tough matchup for Stampone there. 6'3", 330 pounds. He shed weight and added muscle to get to that point.
It's impressive.
2nd down and 10. Gordon takes a shot. A lot of contact, and there is going to be multiple flags. Very clear pass interference. The only question was Joey O'Brien going to come down with it anyway? Almost did.
I think the 2 flags are the 2 times he committed pass interference.
Yeah, I think it's both officials coming up with the same call.
I know, I'm saying I think they could have missed the first one and called the second, or missed the second and called the first. There was a lot of contact there.
There was a lot of contact throughout, no doubt about it. Watch it again here. Ball moved to left side of the field. Wide side is just Joey O'Brien. No safety help. Instead, they'll go to Josh Simmons, taken down after a gain of 3. And again, he really kind of went down at first contact there. That is a hat tip to the offensive line for just moving bodies. Des Ortiz also laid a block. Again, Desmond Ortiz's role has changed this year, but he's taken it all in stride and has been that leader and captain. Now he's lined up in a halfback position, is Ortiz. Simmons gets the run, and he's spun down at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, 6 yards coming up. I would expect to see the offense out again on 4th down if needed.
Brought down by Nafiz Boston.
Four wide. Screen pass for J.P. Oates. Well blocked. Oates inside the 5. John Patrick Oates down to the 2-yard line, and that's enough for a first down.
And that was a very similar play to Luke Gordon's first touchdown pass. It was also a screen pass on the right side of the field to J.P. Oates.
And this is the type of drive in a running clock situation, up 35, that you want. Get the football to start the second half. 6+ minutes off the clock. Now can they punch it in for 6? First and goal from the 2. Josh Simmons dives and scores. Touchdown, Josh Simmons.
And before the game, I was talking about how Bonner's defense has shut out 3 different offenses this year, and they are doing the exact opposite of that today, letting LaSalle score 41 points.
LaSalle's clicking on all cylinders. With all respect, of course, to the other teams that Bonner-Prendergast played, it's a different level of offense. Chris Heck, 6 for 6 on point after attempts here today.
It's great to see, even after taking starters out, that LaSalle can still have a great run game with Simmons.
Simmons, another really tough runner, kind of like Isaiah Nelson.
Good to lay out every now and again and let the pep band do its work. Little electric guitar sounds good. Heck will kick this one away. Picked up from the 1-yard line. What a play. What a play on special teams by number 23, Nick Saber, the sophomore linebacker.
Wow, this is the 28th time these two teams have faced off against each other. According to Bill Wasilenko, the first time these two teams went to battle was in 1956. LaSalle took that game 26-20. LaSalle holds a 23-4 record against Bonner all time. And if this remains the same, they will be 24-4 against them.
Again, it is nice that they get to play each other more. Haven't played each other a lot recently after the separation of blue and red. This is the end of the 2-year cycle, though. Every 2 years, they reevaluate divisions and enrollment. So we'll see if this matchup continues or not into the future. Chima Auguste makes the stop. 7 yards on first down.
And he can make some big hits. We saw it on special teams against Malvern Prep. Now, Jack, we've got Brandon Murray in the game. He played great against Salesianum.
Yeah, he filled in for Lucas Johnson in that game in the second half.
Big hit by Brett Sutter, sophomore linebacker. Picked him up and put him down, but not before a first down for number 24, Mekhi Martin.
Bob, Sutter's a name that you should be used to, Eddie Sutter.
That's right.
That's his brother.
Yeah. The play I'll always remember for Eddie Sutter is the game-winning interception against Malvern Prep in last year's Battle at the Beach. Pitch and catch. And a lot more for number 4, Tarif Nixon. 4th wideout option for Bonner-Prendergast.
Pat, you were talking to me earlier about how this view is so nice that we're looking out to. There's about miles and miles and miles of trees.
Bucks County for you. Martin with a stiff arm. Good move there by Mekhi Martin. finishes that run across the 50. One more look. That right there is how you finish a run. This one flipped out wide. T.Y. Morris spins out of one tackle, gets to the 45-yard line.
And to talk about the actual stadium itself, Panther Field seats up to around 3,200 fans. It includes 2 grandstands, a press box that we are in, and concession stands. The field itself is an artificial turf field surrounded by an 8-lane track. William Tennent High School's Panther Field is home to William Tennent High School Panthers and the Archbishop Wood Vikings.
I'm so curious. Is this Wikipedia? Is this Tennent's website?
This one is Eastern PA football.
There you go. Dave Micah, our guy. Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out Eastern PA football, you really should. They do a terrific job covering, well, the eastern half of the state. First down for Bonner-Prendergast. Mekhi Martin putting on a nice second quarter and into the second half here.
Really interesting. Wait, never mind.
What?
What would it have been, Pat? Well, we'll talk about it after this play. Salim Frank back into the game, by the way. That pass well behind the intended recipient from Fat Campbell. Intended receiver was number 2, Musa Bradford.
I just kind of forgot what I was going to say, so I didn't want to.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Not to put you on the spot then, sorry. Hey, another shout out to David Navo, by the way. Standing to my left, doing a great job on camera. He is excellent, top notch.
Bob, what do you think of Archbishop Wood playing here?
We've done many a game here when LaSalle played Archbishop Wood. Terrific program. They're in the process of rebuilding a little bit right now. Chima Auguste again comes up and makes the tackle. That's a young man that got a lot of playing time at the beginning of the year. I think Jimmy Mahoney and his development kind of eked Chima out of the lineup, but he is making a statement here today to look to earn some more time. No, I'll tell you this, Jack McGuire, a story where we, in this very building, did a broadcast with, I don't know if these, I hope these names will ring a bell, Mark Farzetta and Jamie Lynch. Mark Farzetta, longtime 97.5, the Fanatic employee, same with Jamie Lynch. Mark Farzetta, an Archbishop Wood graduate, and Jamie Lynch, a LaSalle graduate. We had a really fun time doing a game with those two guys. A little bit of football analysis, a lot of fun as coming back to the football and almost making the play was Nixon. It's a great throw there by Fat Campbell. Get one more look. Good coverage, though, getting back into the play by Brandon Murray. And that is the end of the third quarter. But so that was great because they kind of brought their radio shtick to the broadcast and ended up being a great game as well. Overtime.
Yeah, Bob, I now have a statement from Bill Wasilenko leading up to this game. Tough to say Bonner-Prendy after saying Bonner for most of my life, but the first school built on that hill in Drexel Hill was Archbishop Prendergast, which was a boys' school when it opened and became the girls' school after Monsignor Bonner was built. In 1954, the LaSalle freshman team lost to Archbishop Prendergast, but no worries, it wasn't the girls' team back then. Bonner ruined the lives of LaSalle fans with PCL championship playoff victories over LaSalle in 1959 and 1961. Otherwise, LaSalle would have won 6 of 7 Catholic League titles between 1955 and 1961. BP is 5-1 so far, only losing to the Haverford School. The Friars went 12-2 last year on their way to a 4A PEIAA state championship, only losing to St. Joseph's Prep 49-14 and LaSalle 35-13. No need to experience a letdown after the Franklin Field victory last week, and it would be good to put them away early this Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. at William Tennent High School in Warminster. Let's beat the Friars, go LaSalle. And that's exactly...
Oh, I know. That was exactly what Bill Wasilenko said. We might need to, coddle these statements a little bit. Ruined the lives of LaSalle fans in the 1950s. Let's put them away early. Come on, Bill. Oh, he's funny. Open receiver, a diving catch. T.Y. Morris.
Bob, you were amused by the.
I was amused. Yes. What else was I amused by? I'm sorry.
The first sentence about Bonner-Prendy now.
Oh, God, that's right. Most of my life it was this. How does he get these statements to you?
He emails them to teachers and alumni,
Okay.
and I'm thankful for Mr. Resch, who forwards them to me.
Second down and 5. Number 26, Omari DiMercado now into the game at running back. Bonner-Prendergast looking to get on the board. Campbell to the back of the end zone. Good defense. Desmond Ortiz.
That's Desmond Ortiz on defense there.
Campbell's pass incomplete.
Very impressive.
A lot of the offensive guys for the Explorers have shown that they can play some defense too. Last game it was J.P. Oates who had contributed to 2 sacks along with Jamel Williams.
Of course, you love to see that your players can play both ends of the ball.
Not that it's hard, but it might be the hardest that the rain has come down here today.
Holding Bonner-Prendergast.
I'm just going to get ahead of it. If it stays like this, we may call it on the interviews today and just pack her up. Does that work by you guys?
I think that's all right.
I don't know that the young men will necessarily want to stay out here much longer than they need to either. Now on second down and 17 or maybe 15, incomplete. Salim Frink, the intended receiver.
Bob, you know what we could do? We could say who we were going to interview.
That's right.
We can name a player of the game.
Just to tease them. Yes, we could definitely name a player of the game. I'm with you on that.
3rd and 15.
The LaSalle bench has been really into this defensive possession all drive. Definitely putting out some good energy.
I think, Pat, it is a point of pride, even with some reserves on the field, to keep this shutout intact. And if they get off the field here with the moving clock and the ability to move the ball down the field, that one's going to be, well, short after the catch, and so it'll be 4th down. I guess my point being is if you get a stop here, it might be the last time that Bonner-Prendergast touches the football.
Knocked out of bounds by Kevin Stahl. 4th down.
It is 4th down. Line to gain is inside the 10 at about the 8.
Did I hear that right, Bob? Kevin Stahl? That's Keen Stahl's brother, the sophomore.
That's right. Your classmate.
All of ours. He's a very good lacrosse player.
4th down. Campbell avoids one. And he lost the football out of bounds. It just slipped out of his hands, and Jack Burns, LaSalle's defense, gets off the field.
Yeah, that was a great defensive drive, and the ball getting out of his hands there, you can tell, was definitely a factor of this rain right here. It's definitely come down the most it has all day, and it just slipped right out of his hands.
And if they weren't going to do this already due to their lead, I think LaSalle would definitely now put the ball on the ground with the run game after they watched that slip out of his hands. Obviously, that was probably their game plan for the rest of the game coming into this drive, but especially after that 4th down we just saw, I doubt Luke Gordon will take any.
Handoff and a really nice run out to the 35-yard line. First touch of the game for
Jeray Dial.
You like him, huh? Freshman, 5'10", 165. Although they are backing up. Flag on the play. It's a hold against LaSalle.
DJ Andrzejewski, also our classmate, now comes in.
Seems to be a lot of sophomore talent on this varsity team.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
Yeah. I believe Mac Householder's out there at center, too.
There's Dial. Dial with the speed to the edge, and he takes a hit as well. Out to the 33. The bench loves that one.
Ray Dial on the carry.
Is this the next great running back at LaSalle, guys?
Him and Bryce Hanton.
First down, Explorer.
Does not look like a freshman.
Yeah, they're going to go from Des Ortiz, Azir Nelson, and Josh Simmons to the two guys Jack just mentioned. So I don't think there will be a lack of talent at the running back position for at least a couple years.
Oh, and remember, Nelson, a junior. Simmons, a junior. We'll wish Des Ortiz the best at Brown next year. Been an unbelievable running back for so many years here. And a great family Desmond has that we've gotten a chance to know a little bit over the years, too. Dial. Spun down. Good tackle on the edge by number 23, Amir Williams, the linebacker. Another look at the tail end of that tackle by Williams. So Bonner will fall from the ranks of the unbeaten in terms of the league play. They lost one game to Haverford earlier in the year. But it really makes this interesting over the last 2 weeks. Now, can Bonner pull an upset against the St. Joe's Prep or Roman Catholic? Based on what I've seen, they're going to need to play really, really well in that type of game. Super talented, definitely the 4A state champ. It's just, you talk about size of school and thereby size of roster, it becomes very much a challenge, which is why I think these 4A schools maybe have a point, regardless of which 4A school is up in the red division. Is there a way to make it a little bit more equitable about who plays whom in the regular season and start to adjudicate that representation in the 4A district before you get to November 1st?
Yeah, St. Joseph's Prep, Roman Catholic, and LaSalle all have Cardinal O'Hara to face left on their schedule. Like you mentioned, this Bonner-Prendergast team also plays Roman Catholic and St. Joseph's Prep.
Jeray Dial on 4th down and 2, dove and got a yard past the line, maybe about a half yard past the line for the first down.
First down, Explorers.
And there's the other running back we were talking about checking into the game. That's Bryce Hanton, number 13.
All right, now it's the hardest it's come down here today. And it looks like it's just hanging. It might even be coming harder the other way. There is that new back you mentioned, gain of 2. Again, before we do get out of here, thanks to David Navo for helping us. He is excellent at what he does. Jack McGuire, Pat Burkhead, Jack Burns. Jack Burns, a little quiet second half. Well, tell me what you're seeing. Tell me what you're feeling.
I'm feeling it's been a great game. It's sad to see such a blowout, especially if you're a Bonner-Prendergast fan. But it's a great win for LaSalle, and this LaSalle team has been nothing but electric and off the charts today.
Bryce Hanton again in the backfield, pistol look, and how about that flying? Amir Williams, he has not stopped playing at all. First linebacker coming off the bench. And this is a heck of a play.
Number 61 for LaSalle checks in to the game to play on the offensive line. That's Brian Baker-Grady, the sophomore.
One more first down would do it.
What do you say at 1 minute mark we name our player of the game?
Okay, let's do it.
Or how are we going to do this? We're going to do votes? Whoever has the most votes.
I think I've got mine picked.
The tribe has spoken.
I think I have mine picked too. Jack, I think we probably have the same one.
Called on the play by Josiah Jackson, senior tight end. Good to see Jackson get a touch, and it'll be 4th down. Let's do it now. If we're ready, go ahead. And I'm just going to let you guys make the call. It's student day here.
Pat, why don't you go first?
I was impressed with 2 guys today. I thought Azir Nelson obviously had a great game, and Caleb Davidson was also really dominant out there.
Jack, I think.
I would say Azir Nelson as player of the game.
And
I agree with Patrick.
Like I mentioned after his 3rd touchdown, I think Azir Nelson is also the player of the game.
Okay.
Bob, not that it matters anymore because we have all of our guests.
Yeah.
But
I feel like on Survivor, I'm on the outs. I'm on the outs. I'm not in the alliance. All I got to do is keep winning individual immunities. It's the only way I'm going to stay on this broadcast. Timeout on the field, 1:38 to go. Want to thank a few more sponsors here today. E&M Insurance, local independent insurance agency. You can find them online at andminsurance.com. Thanks to Chris Marr, longtime sponsor of us here. Maybe you have a youthful age driver, by the way, boy or girl in high school about to get on your policy. You know how expensive that will be. So make sure you go ahead and give Chris Marr and our buddy Jake Timby a call at E&M Insurance. First punt of the night by my count, and it's nearly blocked, but it's a really good one. Fair caught at the 25-yard line. And then finally want to thank Dr. Mary Griffin and Ballad Dermatology. Many cosmetic skin care options to reduce sun damage, help your skin, and help you love your skin. Visit her online at balladdermatology.com or 610-664-3300. That's Dr. Mary Griffin of Ballad Dermatology.
yeah, not that it matters because the receiver on that kick from Bonner called a fair catch, but Aiden Christie and Brendan Murray were right there, crowding him on both sides. Had nowhere to run, didn't call a fair catch.
Hand off to Martin. Martin still running hard to the bitter end.
It sounds like the LaSalle sideline is chanting Jack and Jack Burns. I don't think it's chanting for us.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And that might be the last play of the game. Bonner can snap it one more time if they choose. Campbell flips to the outside. It's caught. And that'll be the last play of the game. There will be no let-up for LaSalle. A week after taking down arch rival St. Joe's Prep, LaSalle comes home and beats Bonner-Prendergast 42-0. A terrific game for the Explorers of LaSalle, fighting wind, rain, and other elements.
Stay around for a special presentation.
Guys, thanks for your time here today. Great to be with all of you. 3 sophomores from LaSalle High School interested in broadcasting and wonderful companions on this broadcast. Jack McGuire.
I think first, just prayers up to Nick Neary after that injury. I hope all is well. He's a multi-sport athlete here at LaSalle. Obviously, right now he's focused on football, but in the winter he'll be playing basketball, so you hate to see an injury for him. But moving away from that, I think LaSalle played very well today. Obviously, the score shows that Azir Nelson, our player of the game, 3 touchdowns, 10 on the season. Joey O'Brien, 1 touchdown, makes it his 11th of the season. Gavin Sidwar and Lou Gordon played very well at quarterback. And Jeray Dial coming in the second half at running back.
Pat Burka.
Yeah, I thought after the prep game, as you mentioned, there could have been a letdown. And this Bonner team is good. They're not a bad team at all. So I thought LaSalle might have fallen into a close game, but they did a great job of staying focused and coming out here today and getting the win.
Jack Burns.
It was a great game, and I think the elements and weather of today made a great difference in both teams' plays. And I think the backups, especially, I think we're going to give it a shout out to those, played great, especially coming after a hot offense from the starters.
And to emphasize on that point, I think that the weather benefited LaSalle because LaSalle's run game, I think, is much stronger than Bonner's. Bonner's defense is very good, but it's hard to contain a LaSalle offense with so many weapons in the backfield, so many weapons at wide receiver, J.P. Oates at tight end. So I think that the run game benefited.
I want to reiterate Pat Burkhead's point because you talked about Bonner not only not being a bad team, that's still your 4A favorite. And so Jack Muldoon, those guys, they'll recover. But right now, we're going to play you out with the alma mater played by the LaSalle Pep Band. So we're bringing you back only to tell you that there is a special presentation at halftime. So we're going to hang with you here just for a moment.
We took our votes for player of the game. What are our votes for this special presentation?
I have no vote. I'm learning with all of you. I bet that Gavin Sidwar will be presented with maybe a record-holding football for touchdowns and receptions.
It's a good guess, even though you said no vote.
Right.
So I don't know if it
No
counts.
votes. Should have had our mic down there. So as you see right now, Brett Gordon speaking to his team. That is standard protocol as they'll talk about the game that was, give some plaudits, get everybody fired up heading into the week. But again, we expect a special presentation at midfield.
Of course, the rain starts to die down a little bit just as we finish.
May I direct your attention to midfield, where we'd like to acknowledge head coach Brett Gordon as he presents Joey O'Brien with his jersey for the 2026 Under Armour Next All-America football game. "100 of the nation's premier high school football players have been selected by ESPN Recruiting to participate in the 2026 UA Next All-America Game. Over its 17-year history, the UA Next All-America Game has produced many of football's best collegiate and professional players. The game has served as a proving ground for NFL stars of tomorrow, and more than 375 alumni of the game have been selected in the NFL Draft, including 100 first-round picks and 4 Heisman Trophy winners. Joey, congratulations on achieving your dream of becoming a UA Next All-American. We look forward to seeing you play in Florida. You can watch Joey at the UA Next All-American Game on January 3rd. Use Instagram and Twitter to learn more about the UA Next All-American Game, along with current and past players. Congratulations once again to LaSalle's Joey O'Brien, our latest All-American.
That's Chris Carabello on public address Doing a great job with that presentation, Joey O'Brien. Under Armour All-America game. That is high praise and limited company. So a great win for LaSalle. Gets a little bit better with Joey O'Brien achieving that honor. For Jack McGuire, Pat Burkhead, Jack Burns, what a crew I have, and I'm blessed to work with. David Navo on camera. We'll say so long from William Tennant High School. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week, Friday, 7 p.m., as LaSalle takes on Cardinal O'Hara on senior night.